AMC stock is on an upward trend, and we're here to discuss why. Hey everyone, this is Kevin, your failed journalist. Now, a few months ago, it was last year sometime, I made a video discussing this article. It was from the Motley Fool, and it's titled, "Will AMC Entertainment Be the Hottest Stock of 2021?" They talked about how much of a mess the stock was and how it clearly looks like a bad investment, but, and I'm not going to reread the whole article, but here's where the article ended up. There is not a lot to like about the movie theater industry, but with some of its smaller competitors unlikely to be around a year from now in digital distribution, still not a bona fide replacement for a theatrical run, you can't write AMC stock off now. With the spigot of studio content begins flowing again, and it's a matter of when and not if, AMC is going to be a bigger player, and it's going to be smarter. It has made the most of its lull by rolling out mobile concession ordering and reserved seating to most locations during the downtime. It has made cost cuts that will pay off in the future. Expectations are so low for AMC now that if the chain is just still breathing a year from now, it would be enough to see the stock price higher at that point. By sticking around, AMC could see a COVID-19 vaccine next year and ride out the recession. A lot will change in the future, but as what would probably be the last multiplex operator standing, AMC didn't make it through the past 100 years by not adapting to changing trends and consumption patterns. This year has been a box office flop for AMC, but every so often the sequel proves to be better. And you know, that video got a lot of comments from people because basically people felt that, you know, and here's the thing. I've been upfront about the fact that A, I am an AMC investor, and B, I really love the movie theaters. I think the movie theaters will ultimately be okay. They might look a little different than what we normally consider them to look like, but I think they will be fine in the long run. So I have no problem buying AMC stock and putting my money where the mouth is. I'm not encouraging you to do that. This is a news editorial commentary video, not financial advice. Talk to a financial advisor if you want to invest in AMC stock or any stock, really. But a lot of people looked at the video, and a lot of people actually commented, like, you know, this is like a really irresponsible thing to be writing. Don't be encouraging people to invest in AMC stock. And here's the thing. I did point out during the article that, you know what, people who write these stories, even though they say they don't have a position in the stock, usually through a family member or through some secondary business that they partially co-own, they do have a stake in what happens, and they will write articles in favor of that stock. And yet we do seem to be in a situation where AMC stock is actually doing very well. Here's where it was in January. It was like $1.99 a share. I think that's the lowest it's been in a long time. I think that's the lowest it's ever been, even. But today it's up to $4.86. It's almost $5 a share. And you have to wonder why that is. And well, the reason that is because AMC has basically avoided bankruptcy this year. And I want to go back to something that this guy said just to show that these writers, you might think they're ignorant or you might think that they're fools, but they're usually anything but fools. They're usually very perceptive people. Here's where the big point was. Expectations are so low for AMC right now that if the chain is just still breathing a year from now, it would be enough to see the stock price higher at that point. Now, when was this article written? This was written in October of 2020. Well, look, AMC said that they are around, they're just breathing, there's going to be no bankruptcy this year, and look at what happened to it, 488. If they're still around in October by the time Dune and other movies start coming out, watch out. But let's look at this article, because the real thing to celebrate is that Aaron Adam, who I'm hoping is proving me wrong about being an incompetent CEO, seems to have pulled some wizardry, and AMC won't be going away anytime soon, although I do still anticipate cutbacks and closed theaters. So, according to Los Angeles Times, Ryan Faulkner, since the COVID-19 pandemic forced AMC theaters to shut down its business in March, Hollywood and Wall Street had speculated that Chapter 11 bankruptcy was just around the corner for the world's largest cinema operator. For now, the beleaguered company can breathe, according to its CEO. AMC chief executive Adam Aron on Monday said in a statement that any talk of an immediate bankruptcy for AMC is completely off the table after the company disclosed raising $917 million in fresh capital since December to sustain itself through the coronavirus pandemic. The company said it raised $506 million in equity by issuing 167.7 million new common shares, something I personally disagree with, I want to add, and also executed commitment letters for $411 million in debt by refinancing a European revolving credit facility. The company said the new cash raised through a combination of debt and equity would extend its financial runway deep into 2021. AMC had previously warned investors that bankruptcy was a possibility if the company failed to replenish its cash reserves by selling stock. AMC, which was acquired by China's Dalian Wanda Group in 2012, raised more than $1 billion from April through November. Shares of AMC, which have languished during the pandemic health disaster, surged 26% to $4.44 in midday trading. The financial lifeline comes as the picture for the immediate future continues to darken for theaters as studios hold back their films for when patrons are vaccinated and ready to return to the multiplex. Last week, MGM Studios delayed its $250 million James Bond film No Time to Die from its April release date until October. That led other studios to delay their films, including Walt Disney Company's The King's Man, Sony Pictures' Cinderella, and Paramount Pictures' A Quiet Place 2. So here's the thing. AMC is not exactly out of the woods, but they're proven to be a resilient little cockroach, if you will. They keep raising money. They keep putting off the bankruptcy. There is still a danger, though, and unfortunately, we have to acknowledge that one of the ways that they're getting this money is they're refinancing debt and they're taking on more borrowing, and eventually someone's going to not lend them any more money. At one point, someone's going to say, you know what, you're too deep into debt. We just can't allow you to do it anymore. And that's going to be a problem. Now, here's the thing. If AMC can stay open for most of the year, then hopefully by the time October comes around, things will be better. New movies will be out. And heck, maybe even by the summer, they can start seeing an uptick. Because here's another thing about the AMC stock you have to keep in mind. Right now, the expectations are so low that if they start turning around in the summer months, then that would be an improvement for AMC and their stock. Someone will probably buy AMC if they got financially desperate enough. I mean, here's the thing. I go back to the Wonder Woman situation, and look, I know a lot of you enjoyed watching Wonder Woman 84 on HBO Max, or at least you watched it. Maybe you didn't enjoy it so much. It didn't really get very good reviews, did it? But here's the thing. Wonder Woman 1984 overperformed expectations in theaters, and it underperformed expectations when it came to selling streaming services. And that actually seems to be a running trend going on. Whenever something goes day and date or is released on streaming shortly after theatrical, the theaters seem to be overperforming, whereas the streaming is underperforming. People, when The Croods 2 was released, they expected maybe $6 million. It grossed 10. Wonder Woman, they were expecting maybe $8 million. It grossed 16. These are not game-changing numbers, by the way, but the thing is, it does show that there was like a huge uptick in ticket buying than people expected there to be, but these really didn't move the needles in terms of streaming subscriptions or streaming rentals. Streaming is not a replacement for the theaters, and the movie studios know this. I think if AMC even gets in bad shape in the summer, at one point the studios might even step in and have to save AMC. They might have to all chip in money, save the theaters, because that's where they're going to make their money. It's in the theaters. We've had basically a year to try this day and date thing, to try this streaming thing. Streaming is not a viable option. It is not making them the money that they need to make. And so this can only be considered a good thing for movie theaters, movie studios, actors, fans, all around. And I do think going forward, the theaters will look differently. I don't think we're going to have a 90-day window anymore. I think those days are gone. And there might even be some movies that premiere in theaters and on home day and date. And I think people might go to the theaters if they're a subscriber more than if they're, just going out once or twice, especially since the cost of 2 movie tickets will get you a full month at AMC with their Stubs A-List program. So AMC, here's the bottom line and the positive news. AMC is going to survive most of this year. They might. I think they're even going to survive till next year. I think theaters are definitely on their way to coming back. I believe AMC will ultimately be okay. I don't know if it's going to be under ownership, but they probably will. And yeah, they're being resilient. So for all of you who are making bets that AMC stock would go to zero by the spring, I guess you lost that bet. But I would like to know what everyone else thinks about this otherwise. Do you think AMC is going to be fine? Are you happy about this? Are you do not care? I'd love to know. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.